sirens. I just heard sirens while I'm filming. That is not what I want to hear at this moment. I'm going to go into this Profusion Cosmetics, okay, of this dark blue halo eyeshadow lip. Okay. First and foremost, I would like to welcome all of the new viewers, all of the new supporters. Thank you for watching my content. On the other hand, I am also saying another warm welcome to the returning viewers, subscribers, and or supporters of my content, of what I do and or stand for. The look that we will be doing today, or the look that I will be presenting, is simply a dark blue halo eyeshadow with an orange lip. If you would like to see the finished look, continue watching. I zoomed in my camera so that you can see the process a little clearly. So as you can see, I have one eye that has already been finished, completed, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do is take the Black Radiance Perfecting Eyeshadow Primer. It's a travel size, by the way. And I'm going to apply this primer onto my eyelid. I'm going to apply this using my finger. I'm simply dabbing this onto my lid. Now, when it comes to my primers or my eyeshadow primer, I use my finger when I have an overlay and or my natural nails. I tend to use a brush to apply my eyeshadow primer when I have on my nail extensions, acrylics, so on and so forth. So, now that that is on there, I have a mirror, by the way, to my right. So if I'm looking anywhere, I'm looking at the mirror. So I'm going to go into this Profusion Cosmetics Ultra Cool eyeshadow palette. It has 35 shades, okay, 35 shades. I apologize in advance for any glare of lighting. You're possibly able to see my lighting through this through the cover of this eyeshadow palette. However, I got this palette around Christmas time, Christmas 2018, at Walgreens. So what I'm going to do is take this dark brown here. So I'm going to take this dark brown and this lighter brown, and I'm going to mix the two colors and simply apply it to my crease, tapping the excess. Okay, so I am using my blending brush from Sonia Kashuk. So I'm going in circular motions, as you can see. Circular motions in my outer corner, and or as I like to call it, 3/3 of my eye here. Working it up to the crease, going back and forth, windshield wiper motions and circular motions, per usual, and or as usual. I'm taking this fluffy brush, or this fluffier brush. It's less dense than the original blending brush that I did use. I'm going in the same direction here. Windshield wiper motions, circular motions, outer V and or 3/3, going into my crease area. The next color that I will be placing in my lid area is the Happy Birthday palette from NYX, or NYX Cosmetics. And I will be placing this, I would like to call it a very reddish brown, a reddish lighter brown shade. I will apply this to my crease as well. Again, the same process. But not as much. I'm not applying as much pressure onto the second palette here that I've decided to use. I'm not applying so much pressure on the blending process or the application within itself. The reason I do the brown colors first is to simply warm up my crease and or to build up some type of depth within my crease area. Last but not least, I will be using the traditional palette from LA Colors. I'm just going to simply place a darker shade into my crease area using the same Sonia Kashuk blending brush and fluffy brush. So as you can see, even whilst blending out the darker color, you can barely tell that it's there because all of the brown colors that I applied are blending very well together. Going back to the Ultra Cool palette, so going back to the Ultra Cool palette here by Profusion Cosmetics, I am now going to begin the Halo eyeshadow. I'm going to go between, I'm hoping that you are able to see these colors. I'm going to go between this color, and that color. So pretty much all three of these blue colors I'm going to use. Using my Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush, I'm going to take the Nicka K Perfection Matte Setting Spray or Finishing Spray and simply spray my brush. I'm going to then go into the darkest color out of all three of these, and this is going to be on the outer corner and the inner corner of my eye. Again, as I like to call it, 3/3 of my eye, but you understand what I mean. So I'm going to do that. So as you can see, I am placing it first on the inner corner here, or closer to the inner corner rather. And what I'm simply going to do is take this blending brush by Sonia Kashuk and blend that out just a little. Okay. Next, I am ready for the lighter color. Actually, no, I'm not ready for the lighter color. I'm going to do the same thing to the outer corner here. How could I forget that process? Okay, so, or the next step in that process. So I'm going to go to the outer corner here. I'm gently pressing this here, but I'm still applying pressure. So it's a balance between me applying some pressure and doing this with the light hand in case I decide to build up the coverage, so on and so forth, which I'm going to do that now. I'm going to apply more coverage here for pigmentation, you know, nice color payoff, all that good stuff. And simply blend. Blend, 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 blend. Okay, so we're not done yet, okay? Just stick with me. So, next, I'm going to take this e.l.f. Professional Eyeshadow Brush. I'm also going to wet it by the Nicka K Finishing Spray Setting Spray. As you can see, kind of drying that off on my rag. And I am now going to take this color and apply it to the middle of my eyelid. I'm going to first go into the lightest color, tap off that excess, and go into the darker color and tap off the excess. If you don't notice a difference between the shades as of now, besides the colors being different from one another, the darkest color here is a matte color. And these two colors here are simply shimmer shades. The shimmer shades are going to go in the middle. Again, applying some pressure, but not much. That gives me room to add or take away whatever I would like to. I'm going to go back and forth between my blending brush, fluffy brush, and finger when it comes to blending out some shades. When it comes to blending out some shades and adding some more shades, I'm just going to go back and forth. It doesn't look pretty at the moment, however, it will come together, okay? Just stay put. Hopefully you are able to see how the color is coming together, or how the colors are coming together. Next, I am going to highlight my brow bone using the Glow Glam Baked Illuminating Highlighter in the color Multi. I'm going to highlight my brow bone using the Eco Tools concealer brush. I am going to blend out, okay? I'm going to blend out my highlight I placed on my brow bone with the Sonia Kashuk blending brush. I blended out just a little, not too much, but just a little. I'm going to take the Black Radiance eyeliner in black, and I am going to line my eye here. I'm going to do the very same thing at the bottom here. So now that has been done, I'm going to now use the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Palette. Okay, so it has 4 different colors here. So you have the White Lily, the Blossom Glow, the Golden Flower Crown, and the Paradise Bloom all in one palette. They have, Wet n Wild has each of these in singular packages in case you would like to get those in singular packages. Moreover, I'm going to take Paradise Bloom using the Eco Tools concealer brush. I'm going to go into Paradise Bloom and highlight my inner corner. I'm actually going to mix the White Lily and the Paradise Bloom for my inner corner here. I am blending this out with the Sonia Kashuk blending brush. Moving on to my eyelash curler and or my eyelashes, I'm going to take my eyelash curler and warm it up. I wave it in the air just a few times to cool off the heat that has been applied, and I curl my eyelashes for about 30 seconds, give or take. Now that my eyelashes have been curled, I'm now going to go in with the first mascara of choice, and that being the Total Temptation mascara by Maybelline. The next mascara of choice that I will be using is from NYX Cosmetics or NYX Cosmetics. It is their Stacked mascara, which I believe is from the Lush Lashes collection that they launched. The last mascara of choice that I will be using is the Nicka K New York Define and Lengthen mascara, and this will only be going on the top of my eyelashes. Moving on to the face, I will be using the LA Girl Pro Conceal Orange Color Corrector. What I like to do is place this on the back of my hand like so. I'm going to use a foundation brush, a flat foundation brush from LA Colors, simply to apply this. When blending out my color corrector, I like to simply dab and bring it down to my desired areas. I don't like to tug things to that degree. I simply dab it. I simply dab the color corrector. And this also goes for my concealers and things to that degree. Next, I will be using this very light shade. This very light shade from the Ruby Kisses contour palette. It has been well loved, so I will not show what it looks like right now, but just know that it's been well loved. What I'm going to do is take that same flat foundation brush from LA Colors and place it over top of the orange color corrector and blend that out as well. I am now going to use the HD Set and Forget setting powder by Ruby Kisses in shade Banana. The brush that I'm going to use, I like to put it inside of the cap. However, the brush that I'm going to use is the tapered facial brush by Bare Minerals. I simply press that inward anywhere the concealer and color corrector were placed. After placing this powder on, what I like to do is allow it to sit for a moment. After it's done sitting, I simply wipe it off, sweep it off of my face, and then follow it by foundation. I am going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear in 4W2 Toasty Toffee. I ended up getting a sample of it. Please do not be afraid of samples. If you are unable to afford the full product, do not be afraid of samples, okay? If you use the samples correctly, they will last you a mighty long time. However, I use 4 different brushes to apply my foundation. The first brush I'm going to use is simply a stippling brush. The second brush that I'm using is the Luxe Performance Brush by Bare Minerals. I use this to tap in the foundation. This brush works almost like a human finger. That is why I personally enjoy it. The third brush that I will be using is the e.l.f. brush. I do not know the name of this brush, however, it is very dense, as you can see. What I like to do with this brush is press in the foundation. As you can see, the last brush that I will be using is the multi-purpose powder brush by Royal and Langnickel. What I like to do is simply buff my foundation into my face. I'm going to do the same thing on to the other side of my face, my forehead and my nose, using the same brush that I used before in terms of placing my color corrector. I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Conceal in medium beige and place that on the back of my hand also. I then am going to bake using a concoction that I made. Once more, preparing that powder by putting it inside of a cap. I'm going to cream contour. I began to cream contour using this lighter shade by City Color Cosmetics, the perimeter of my head or my face. And I'm going to use a contour brush by Sonia Kashuk and a slanted brush to finish off the job by Sleek Cosmetics. As you can see, it flatters my face a little more to go according to the shape of my face. So I use a total of 2 brushes to contour and or bronze. I have a habit of using my finger to press in the product. To set my bronzer, I am going to use 2 palettes. So the first palette that I will be using is the Tan to Dark Contour Palette by Bare Minerals, their Bare Pro Contour Palette. As you can see, it has been well loved. I'm going to use the number 2 Blend Shade. The second palette that I will be using to set the cream bronzer is the True Complexion Black Radiance Contour Palette, light to medium, the Sculpt. I'm just going to go back and forth between those 2 colors and simply set the cream bronzer using the same 2 brushes. This is the finished look. My camera was running hot, or my camera got hot, so it had to cool down. I finished the entire process, and I never tell you all what primer I'm using for whatever reason. I just never tell you what primer I'm using, but the primer that I used in this video was the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Facial Primer. Everything is going to be listed below. Again, I'm apologizing because it's always something with my camera. I'm looking into investing in a brand new camera. So thank you so much for understanding, but until next time.